Well, I try to give you guys a time of me giving information while I drive to home, but I live in Texas. So my phone would continually overheat because of the sun. So I was just do it in the morning. I'm already up. So today on the way in to work, um, I'm going to just kind of give you guys some little advice and whatever comes to my head on what is going on. So the last few times we were talked about products and how to use them, how to capital stack them, and things like that. That's pretty easy. You guys get enough time with me and my team, a Jed, that'll come real natural for you. This is what seems to be the issue: is negotiations and follow up and how actually real estate closes. First thing you got to come to the understanding of is that no matter if you are, negotiating anything, there's a problem. Okay. So, what does that mean? Well, when people sell real estate, they sell because they have to, because they want to. All right. So, changing my job, I'm getting a divorce. I got this thing inherited. I don't know what to do with it. Um, Landlords. There's only two types of landlords: ones that want more, or ones that want to get rid of everything because they hate it. That kind of stuff. So there's a problem. Okay. So when you guys are trying to find these properties, once you find them, it's always good to understand that you have to solve the problem first. A lot of people have never been taught how to negotiate or how to find problems and how to really, really do well with finding things like that. So, first thing you do is first, like when you meet, where you get the lead, you get like a lead intake. Okay, call the person, and you're calling to see if it's worth your time. Okay, and it's not to sound crass or anything, but is this worth me going out there? Let me tell you why. So in the lead intake, what's your name? What's the address of the property? How many bedrooms does it have? How many bathrooms does it have? Wow. When do you need to close by? Does this need to happen right away? All these things. All right. And you get the person talking. Okay. And ever so often, towards the end of the lead take and say, you know, how much do you think the property's worth? You know, do you owe anything on it? And since they're already answering questions, they tend to spit these answers out. Okay, so let's say something like, hey, it's Jimmy. It's a 322. Um, it's brick. All this stuff like that. Yeah, going to foreclosure, all this kind of stuff like that. It's like, okay, eventually it's like, they're just rifling off information. It's very comfortable. Well, how much do you, is there anything owed against the property? Any liens against the property? Okay. Um, like, oh yeah, I owe 100,000. Okay, and then you're pulling your comps off. That's worth, let's say it's worth two. It's worth 300,000. Great. There's enough spread on this deal to start negotiating. And say I owe 100,000. Things worth 120. End the conversation. You move on to your next lead. And the reason why I tell you that is sometimes what I call it, the office is called dragging dead bodies. All right. So don't drag dead bodies across the floor. They're never going to get up. They're never going to wake up. Okay. So don't drag a deal and try to make things work. Don't get me wrong. When you're in negotiations, you can make things work, but within the box you've defined. As soon like, have you seen any other my other stuff? What do I tell you guys? Three things: the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, the most likely case scenario. All three of them have to be profitable. If the worst case scenario, you're losing, money to where it's almost killing your business, can't buy it that way. All right. So that's what I mean on the negotiation aspect of things. Negotiations, I think, has a negative connotation to most people that have not studied human psychology or dealt with people in negotiations. Negotiations is a good thing. It's solving two people's problems where they can both benefit from the solution. So when you guys are negotiating, a lot of people think you have to be like really shrewd and stuff like, it's not, that's not good negotiations. Good negotiations is first building a relationship with the person across the table for him. Do we like each other? Do we trust each other? Can we do business together? Because even if you're buying somebody's property, you are doing business with them. They have inventory that you want. You have to have this inventory at a certain price. So that is one of the key aspects of, making sure you're getting the negotiations done right. So build a relationship, solve the problems. All right. The next thing about negotiations is you have to start feeling very, very comfortable with the word no. All right. No is a very good thing in negotiations. And I'll tell you why. You guys are going to think I'm absolutely nuts. Okay. No means we just started. Okay. No means there's a problem. No means that we get to find a solution. I would always feel a little nervous with yes right away. Why? If I'm offering something to a property and I'm like, oh, $100,000, like, yes. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, there was a lot more meat on this bone than I saw. The second thing I don't like about yes right away from people is unless you're seasoned in a lot of pressure situations in your life, most people do not like confrontation. Most people will do anything in their power to avoid it. Okay? So sometimes people just tell you yes just to get you out the door. Okay? And you'll notice, and the guys that are watching this, you'll notice that sometimes you've gotten this yes and you've never heard from this person ever again, whether you're buying real estate or you texted somebody that you met, going out. Like, well, where's this person at? So because you didn't affirm the deal, you didn't really solve the problem. They got uncomfortable and they wanted you to leave. Okay, so that is one of the things you have to understand. To get kind of a no. Always be insultingly low on your offer, and they're going to yell at you, and they're going to call you crazy and all sorts of names. That's okay. So that's where you start negotiating. You got to come to the realization that probably 40 to 60% of your offers will contract anywhere from 60 to 90 days after your first hard no. Call it 30 to 90 days, but still. So that is something you got to come to terms with. The no invites conversation. Okay? And the last thing I'll end up talking to guys is called follow-up. Goes along with the no. You have to also come to the understanding of the psychology of people. So you have trained yourself in this business. The seller has not. Okay. They don't know your terminology. They don't know what ARV is and stuff like that. They don't know these things. Okay. Neither did you one time. So when you get a call, you'll call the seller and you'll say things like, hey, I'm still interested in 123 Main Street. Is it still available? And they're like, oh no, that's sold. Like, Oh, okay. And a lot of, like, I'll get my borrowers like, yeah, you said it was sold. I said, oh, when they get their money. They're like, what do you mean? I said, when did it close? What? I don't know. Most sellers think properties that are contract and are sold. Incorrect. Things are sold when money is transferred. So when a seller tells you, hey, my property's sold, say, oh, great. Say this. Did you get your money yet? No. Oh, when are you getting your money? August 31st. Nice. Congratulations. Hey, I want to follow up with you. I want to make sure you get your money. I've just been doing this for a while. Do you mind if I call you back? Make sure you're okay? Sure. And you guys, if you heard any of my other videos, just like any beer, you'll text them or call them on the 31st. Most of the time, there's no answer. Okay? And then all of a sudden, like that, then the next day, the first, the snapper comes in. Hey, did you get your money? Well, every time you hear, well, what I always tell you, something messed up. My buyer said the lender needs more time. Guys, I'm a lender. I don't need more time. We've already underwritten the deal and money's ready to go. This deal's probably being wholesale, just being shopped, all this kind of stuff. And this is where you can come in. This is what I tried to explain to you when I was trying to contract the property. This is why, like I was telling you, why the other offers weren't going to work. I have money and I'm ready to close as soon as title is ready, clear. And then you start negotiating again, because if it's supposed to happen on the 31st and it's now the day after, unless there's some sort of title issue, something like that, because remember, title is the seller's issue, not yours, buyer. They are in default of contract. So, most likely. So, now you can start picking up the property. So, this is one of those little things that I just want to help guide you guys on. That's why I do these things. You guys have looked at any other videos and things like that from people. It's always about their product. It's always about how to give them something, how to make that other person money. I feel differently. If I can help you guys grow your business, if I can help you guys learn things, when you want to use me, you will be able to. When you are getting successful, you know that there's a team around you that's interested in your success. Just like for you guys, learn this. Give first, then you receive. Make people successful first, then you'll be successful. If you focus on making yourself money, it's very difficult. If you focus on being the gatekeeper of information and people, connections, and how to make the people around you money, it sounds crazy to tell it, but you will make 10 times more money giving, because you are now a trusted member of the community that will always give back to them. All right, guys, I got a Zoom call coming up. I'll talk to you later.